Board of Appeals. I would ask that you shut off your cell phones, mobile phones, or silence them so we're not interrupted. I'm going to start out by introducing our board, and welcome to the people at home. I think this is our third venue now of the year for zoning board meetings, so we're kind of like a traveling circus. But we're happy to be here in front of you and getting our meetings completed. To my right is Bob Signetti, Becky Kilborn, our clerk Ken Scholes, myself John Bowner, the chairman, Jeff Sauer, and then our two alternates are Ken Javinian and Corinne Doherty. Here from the Code Administration Department is our building inspector Rich Maloney and our secretary Kathy Archambault. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, I'll talk to you about our procedures. So if you're presenting a case after our clerk reads it, you'll come up over to this microphone here. There's a podium and there's a poster board if you need it. If you're going to speak on a case as a member of the public, you'll come over to this microphone here. I ask that you identify yourself. You can remove your mask when you're up speaking so we can hear you clearly, and also your address for our minutes for the record. We will take time in between cases to wipe those microphones down for the next persons to come up. You all are in receipt of minutes from our last meeting. Could I get a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
And a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The way we work here with the Zoning Board of Appeals is after the clerk reads your case, you'll come up, you'll present your case here. From there, the board will ask questions of you. We'll go down with all 5 regular members and our 2 alternates. We'll get all our questions asked. At that point, we'll ask for public comment if you're here to speak on a case. And again, you'll go to that microphone over there. And from there, we'll come back to the board and we will have a deliberation. And that will give you an idea of how the board feels about your case and which way we're leaning. And from there, I will present you your options as to whether you think you have the votes to pass or a continuance or a withdrawal. And I think that's about it. Did I miss anything? I always like to check with my team here. I think we're good.
You're good.
All right, Mr. Clerk, if we could start with our first case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can everybody hear me out there? Okay. Our first case is Robert Duncan, docket 20-4868, requesting a special permit to erect a non-attached garage in accordance with Section 6, Table 1, uses and 30.4 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 190 Center Street, and this is zoned R3.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Duncan's here. If you could, come right to the mic.
Good evening.
Hi. You can take your mask off so we can hear you nice and clear.
Thank you.
And if you don't mind, just move that mic over a little. Well, we are on Danvers Cable, everyone, so you can go watch yourself later tonight. So what would you like to do?
I'd like to erect a garage for storage space for some classic cars that I collect.
You're gonna have to get that closer.
Yeah, it's really hard to hear.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Want me to repeat that?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'd like to erect a garage for storage space for some classic cars that I collect.
Okay, and sounds like that's about the size of it, and the garage is gonna meet all setbacks?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, just storage.
Okay, well, we'll start down there with you, Bob.
When you say a garage, did I read in here someplace you want 3 bays?
I want a 30 by 40, and it'll have 1 door opening.
1 door?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you already have three garages.
Yes, sir, I do attached.
Yeah. How big is your lot?
It's 2.4 acres, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't read it on that little scrawly thing there. And so you want a garage and a carport, I thought I read too.
The garage would be 30 by 40, 30 wide, 40 deep. The carport would be another 10 feet attached, so I could pull my trailer under it.
Yeah. And how big, is this gonna be one of those big doors, or just a regular garage?
It's a 12 by 12.
Okay, and how many vehicles do you have, anyway?
I have 2 classic cars, a motorcycle, some ATVs, and then we have 3 other vehicles that we drive,
And a golf cart.
and a golf
You've got
cart.
A lot of toys.
Yes, sir.
I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Bob. Becky?
Okay, so it says left side elevation, looks like 4 garage doors. Is that 4 garage doors?
No, there's only one door in the front, and then a man door going in.
Okay, so it looks like garage doors, but it's not garage doors?
Let me see that. Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
okay.
that's what it is, it's columns. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Our goal is to make it match the house, so it's the same color. We have a beautiful house, and we want the garage to look as nice as the house.
Okay. And so the vehicles, once you go in the garage, you'll be moving vehicles around inside the garage, or?
Not really, they're gonna pull in and they're gonna be stationary in there. It's really for just storage, and then so I can clean them.
And the height, how does that compare to your house?
What, do you know that? The height of the garage compared to the house, I believe it's the same,
I can't hear.
21 from the point, 21 feet from the
21
point.
feet high, and the house is how high?
About the same time. 20, 21 to 26.
Okay.
Can I just have you identify yourself, please?
Yeah,
My name is Duarte Machado. I'm a general contractor, and I just come with him, so.
Is
see
that
if
21 feet to the midpoint or to the peak?
From the peak.
To the peak, okay. Thank you. Becky, you have one?
All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. So you've got 3 vehicles, a motorcycle, and then the trailer goes under the carport area? Is
yeah,
that what you
so the
said?
trailer would go under the carport, and then I have a classic car and a classic truck and a motorcycle and ATVs that would go into the garage, into the new garage if approved.
Okay. All right, no further questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Jeff?
I have no questions, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And Ken?
I have no questions.
And Corinne?
I have no questions.
Mr. Duncan, my only question is will there be plumbing in this building?
No, sir, no plumbing.
So
No.
it'll just be electric?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and there is it's going to be a poured slab, no foundation?
It'll be a porch slab.
Okay. And I think I heard you say 12 by 12 on the garage door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any further questions. Any additional questions from the board? Yeah, Bob?
Are you gonna have anything above the garage, like a loft or an
Yes, sir,
attic?
there'll be storage up above.
Are there gonna be windows in that?
No windows.
Okay, and you're just gonna have a stairway go up?
Yes, sir, inside the stairway will be.
Yeah, you're not gonna have one of those pull-down things?
No, sir.
All right, that's what I wanna know, what you're gonna do with that space.
Yeah.
Whose phone is that? Bob, any additional questions?
No, that's it.
Okay. I'm going to go out to the public now, and we are here on 190 Center Street for a special permit. Is anyone here to speak on this case? Seeing none, I will come back to the board. Bob, deliberations.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, particularly where it's located. It's so far off the road, nobody could see it. I'll vote for this.
Thank you, Bob. Becky?
I agree. The location is far off the road, so I would vote for it.
Thank you, Becky. Ken?
And I agree, and he meets all the setbacks, so I have no problem with this.
Thank you. And Jeff?
I will vote for this.
And Ken?
I would vote for this, too.
And Corinne?
I have no issues. I would vote for this too.
Thank you, Corinne, and I too am in favor of this. So could I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant a special permit in accordance with Section 6, Table 1 of the Danvers zoning bylaw for a detached garage per the plan submitted. The Municipal water and sewer shall not be overloaded by the garage. The public street shall not be overloaded by the garage. The value of other buildings and properties shall not be depreciated by this garage. The specific site is an appropriate location for the garage. The garage will not adversely affect the neighborhood. There will not be undue nuisance to vehicles or pedestrians, and adequate and proper facilities will be provided to ensure the proper operation of the proposed garage. The proposed garage will be in harmony with the general purpose of the bylaw.
Just a point of order before we take a vote on this. This does not meet setbacks, so I just want the board to be aware of that. Unless I have that wrong, because I see a setback of 27.
It does not meet setbacks?
Does not. This is R3, it should be a 30.
He's R1. Oh, isn't he?
R3, right? Let me go to the building
I'm
inspector.
gonna second the motion, so, and then you can do discussion, okay?
Okay.
R3. 20, yeah.
Sorry.
And he's 21, 3.
30 frontage, very
27,
good.
3.
I
He's a
stand
mile from the street.
corrected.
27, 3. Yeah.
Thank you. I got a motion and I have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very
Meet
much.
with
See
the
the building
building
inspector.
inspector.
Thank you.
That's right, because that's not his front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it looks like it.
It's not the house.
Okay. I get one more.
That is a nice building though back there.
Oh, it's great.
I couldn't even see it from the road.
It's awesome. Little oasis back there.
It really is nice.
Okay, folks, if you just give us a minute, we're gonna just wipe things down here, keep everybody safe. Okay, Mr. Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next case is William Lee Trust, docket 20-4869, requesting a dimensional variance to construct a two-family on 15,111 square feet. 11,319 square feet is located in R1 district, and 3,792 square feet is located in C3 district, in accordance with Section 7, Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 150 Sylvan Street. This is zoned R1.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. My name's Mike Panzero. I'm with Zach Fellows, my partner. I own MJP Properties. We're doing another conversion at 150 Sylvan Street. We're trying tonight. We've completed one at 34 Purchase Street. We're doing one as we speak at 91 Dayton Street, also in Danvers. We've already been to the planning board. We had registered land, so we had to we're looking for a variance on the registered land, which, after we convey it, it's gonna be 111 square feet, which, 1,230 square feet will be in C3 zone. I brought some photos of the outside of the house. I don't know if anybody's been down to see it.
Oh, yeah.
So if not, I'll walk it around and show you. The house is in real tough condition. The inside is falling apart. So the house was built in 1817. We're keeping the entire outside looking just like it is. We're just gonna redo it, to the windows, the roof, the sidings, the decks. A total rehab, 100% probably rehab, including the inside. Like I said, this is all registered land, so it took a long time. We had to go back a half dozen times just to get the boundaries correct and have it approved by, to get the land out of registered land and all set to go. And it's all recorded.
And is that about it?
That's about it.
All right, so just to be clear, we're giving you a variance. You're seeking a variance because we're putting a two-family in R1,
Correct.
plus piece of this land is located in C3.
Correct.
So there's two variance items here. Let me just go to the building inspector. Is that right, Rich? Two pieces of the variance? Just one variance?
They only need 15,000 for two.
Yeah, but they're in two zones, that's the problem. They're in two zones.
Right, but so only 11,005 something, 3 something. To come from the commercial side. Okay, but also to construct a two-family, they also need the variance.
No.
Then they fall, okay, got it. Very good, and that's the extent of your presentation?
Yep, that's about it.
Okay, we'll start down there with you, Corinne.
I have a few questions. We have a deed as part of our package, and it says that, the William Luke Trust is still the owner of the property. Are you purchasing the property, or are you doing the construction work?
We're purchasing the property.
So I'm assuming that you have a P&S signed, and it's contingent on what happens tonight?
Yes. And Mr. Lee is here tonight also.
Okay. And the two-family, is this going to be something that you sell to someone else, or is it going to eventually be two condos?
There's gonna be 2 condos.
Okay, so you're converting it, so right now you want it to be a two-family, but eventually it will be 2 separate units?
Correct.
Okay. Those are all my questions.
Thank you, Corinne. Ken?
So you're keeping the existing structure, and you're just gonna fix it up? Or-
Yes, we're gonna work with it, put it back together.
So, just wondering why, it looks like, are you linking them together? with all-
Yeah, in R1, they have to touch physically, have a connector, so, yeah.
Okay.
We've done it on Purchase Street, 34 Purchase Street, 36 Purchase Street, 56 Purchase Street, Collins Street, Dayton Street. We've done a few of these, and they've come out beautiful. Pickering Street, we've done.
You can't shake a stick without hitting one that you've done.
Yeah, we've done, but they're all done nice.
Yep. All right, you meet all the setbacks otherwise and stuff.
Everything meets all the setbacks.
All right, cool. That's all I got.
Thank you, Ken. Jeff?
Okay, let me just be clear with the building inspector. So if that little piece of C3 was really still in R1, they wouldn't be here? Correct. Okay, I have no further questions, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And Ken?
No questions, thank you.
Becky?
Okay, so, right now, the driveway comes up on the right side of 150 of the house, which is where you're putting that storage breezeway.
Yeah, we have.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so how are you gonna get into this property, and where will the parking be?
So the driveway, as you come into the right, will swale towards the front of the house, about probably 20 feet off the front of the house. And that's where the people on the right will park to get into the garage, and they'll have enough room to turn around and drive out. And then the house on the left, you'll be able to pull in with like about a 15-foot little area off the front of the house to like pull in and park. They don't have a garage.
So the parking's in front of the house?
Yes. Well, except for the house on the
Yeah,
right. The
Yeah,
house on
you
the
have to
right-
understand, I always want a parking plan. I always ask for a parking plan. I want to know where they're going to park. And so I see the new structure has a garage.
Yeah. Right, so they'll have their spots in front of the garage, and then they'll have a little turnaround when they back out.
Okay, but there's only 20 feet to the street, right?
Yeah. We were thinking like a 10 to 12-foot turnaround.
So the parking space is 9 by 18,
Okay.
so you got 2 feet behind the back of the car before the street? Before the sidewalk?
Technically, yes.
The answer's yes?
Yes.
Okay.
The cars, if it's 20 feet, yeah.
Could
I don't
just
know
say-
why, I'm just questioning why the new house, I'm sorry,
I just wanted him to identify himself.
Zach Fellows?
Thank you.
I'm just wondering why you put the new house so close to the street, if there couldn't be a better way to,
No,
I don't see,
where's on the connector on the side? To the side.
I'll let you think about it, talk about it.
Do you have any further questions, Becky?
I'm set.
You all set?
How are we gonna connect it to
It's hard to hear, so speak up, please. Bob?
she's saying she wants to push back, so.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, you're gonna keep the old house,
we're gonna keep the old house.
looked like somebody should have thrown a hand grenade in.
Well, we've done worse.
Yeah. You got a lot of work there, brother.
No, we know.
Okay, and the reason you're attaching it is because you don't have enough land for two.
We don't have enough space to push it back as much, it wouldn't connect, and then now you're in the doorway, because the doorway on number 150 is on the side. So it's-
No, I see that, but, the reason you're doing a two-family instead of two houses is you don't have enough land, right?
Correct.
All right. And, all right, it's an empty piece of land, and you're using it, and you're gonna redo that old house.
Yeah, we're gonna do that old eyesore and make it beautiful again.
Did you check, is that a historical house, by the way?
That, anything in preservation in Danvers is what, 1920?
Yeah.
So, basically, they all are at the end of the day. I mean, we're talking, this is 1870, 1817.
You didn't have to go to the preservation board?
No, because we're not changing it.
All right, I'm just surprised you didn't move that addition back a little bit, but I have no further questions.
Thank you, Bob. So, and this will go to planning board or not? Okay. Well, I agree with Becky. I'm a little surprised there's not a better parking plan presented to us so we can understand it. I guess I would ask, this bump out here, is that a doorway?
So the bump out to the right with the 2 steps is? Of the connector, the other bump out's like a little bay window area.
I guess I'm just wondering why this whole structure wasn't set back to there to give you more room. Yeah, again, I'm not designing it for you, but, and I can say this for comments, but I just, given that you're coming out on Sylvan Street, parking and how people enter and exit this property would be a concern of mine, considering you're not doing anything to the structure that is currently number 150. So I guess I don't have any other questions. I'll go back to the board. Is there any additional questions from the board?
Just have clarification on this attachment issue with 2 houses attached versus it being 2 houses. How does it become attached? What, or maybe they can answer it. I mean,
Yeah,
how
so-
many square feet does it have to be? Is it a hallway or?
Is that a hall
Well,
that
ask-
each property?
Let Rich
Yeah.
answer, please. Through you, Mr. Chair.
Families, when you do it with family, they have to be connected. So in the past, we've had people do it with a piece of lattice work, so we don't allow that. I always say it's substantial. You know, I want it roofed, I want it enclosed. Some people do it with garages, they've done it with garages. There's actually one going up, down the street, 103 Silver Street, they've got an old house in there, put a garage between it, and built a new house next to it. Other people have done it with, like the access to the basement.
A bulkhead?
I just say, yeah, well, substantial, I would say.
So it's a legitimate structure?
Yes.
Okay. And so that structure that goes between the buildings, that is something that has doors and each property can access, or no?
No, that would strictly be for the new property, so as you went in your garage to the left,
It's a storage room?
it's a storage shed,
And there's not mechanical or anything in there?
Nothing.
Not plans, okay.
strictly storage.
But it's connected to 150?
Yes.
Physically? Does that answer your question, Becky?
Yes, because if it were two single-family houses, they would each need 10,000 square feet.
That's correct.
But by adding this little tiny, whatever it is, storage area in between these two houses, they only need 15,000 square feet.
15, right?
So, is that correct?
That's correct.
That is correct.
I would call it substantial.
All right, okay. I just want an understanding of what that means. Okay.
I'll ask this question. What's the square footage of that storage room?
The room's 9 by 12, I believe.
Okay, so it's a bedroom size, small bedroom. Okay. Any additional questions from the board?
I have another one.
Yeah, go ahead, Corinne.
I'm trying to figure out the parking situation here and how, for example, I see the garage, but it looks as if, from the drawing, it would only hold one car. Am I wrong? Would it hold two?
It's a two-car garage, the door's 16 foot wide, so technically it's a two-car garage.
Okay, so does that mean that each unit would have one space inside? And
No,
then
the-
outdoor space, or does one have both?
So the house on the right has the garage only,
Okay.
The proposed addition.
the proposed addition.
So no garage space for 150 Sylvan Street, and the garage is exclusive use on the new building.
Correct.
And then where are the spaces for the other unit? Are they like around the back? I'm just trying to figure out how the people who are gonna live in the existing building, where they're gonna park and how they're gonna get there and how they're gonna get out onto Sylvan Street.
Yeah, so the spot for the house on the left, like we said, would be, they would park in front of the storage shed would be theirs, and then they would have a turnaround in front of their house too, in a spot.
So no one's gonna be backing out onto Sylvan Street? They're all gonna have the ability to turn
They'll have a
around?
turnaround.
Okay.
John,
Yep.
over here.
Bob has another
Bob.
question.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Bob.
All right, on that garage, where are the doors? Are they facing Sylvan Street or the other side?
Sylvan Street.
So, all right, now you got me confused.
Yeah, I'm
The
confused. too.
addition gets two cars in that garage.
Yes.
Here, Bob.
The old house gets two cars parking in front of the doors of that garage?
One car one car in front of the shed that connects it. So the
This
little
Bob.
connector to the left of the
Bob.
garage.
Oh, all right. Okay. So one car's gonna park in front of the shed?
Yes.
So where would the other cars park? For that, to the old building?
We've all asked that.
One in front of the house too.
So you pull in and go hard left.
So you're only gonna have two cars if you buy this property, right? How many bedrooms?
I believe it's gonna be a 4-bedroom.
4-bedroom, 2 cars. Yeah. I think you're gonna need more parking. You know, usually, don't we want a parking space, a
Or a
bedroom?
bedroom, yeah.
And then how many bedrooms is the new addition gonna have?
The new structure has 4 bedrooms.
So you're gonna have 8 bedrooms and 4 parking spaces.
Yeah, again, I guess I'll
I'm
ask,
not buying that.
I'll ask this question again. So I made a suggestion, but I guess I'll ask,
All right.
what exploration did you guys do to bring the proposed addition further back? And when I say back, I mean towards the commercial property,
We can do that.
okay?
We have no problem.
I just think I don't see any other way to alleviate the parking issue.
Yeah, I think that was an oversight on our part, because the architect was pushing, lining the houses up for an aesthetic look.
I
We
get it.
kinda got lost up in that maybe, so we weren't thinking about spaces. But, we have no problem with pushing the house back at all and making more parking that's more suitable.
If you made your shed into a garage for the 150 property, then you
Like a
could put
single
another
bay.
garage under the other house.
Well, all right, well, do we have any other questions from the board? I'll go out to the public if not. Anybody here from the public to speak on 150 Sylvan Street? Yeah, if you could, Mr. Duggan, right over there. You can remove your mask to speak, please, so we can hear you clearly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Matthew Duggan, town meeting member, precinct 1. So if there's only 4 spots this time of year, what happens in the winter with the snow, with the snow storage? Is there a designated area for that?
Do you have snow storage on site?
No.
You have no plan for that currently?
So where will the cars park then? You can't park on Sylvan Street, can't really park on Federal Street, so where are the cars gonna park? On that side street across?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what the board's also asking.
There is a side street, but that's kind of a residential area. I don't think they really want people parking in there. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any additional public comment on 150 Sylvan Street? Okay, hearing none. Did I start with you, Corinne?
You did.
Okay, thank you.
I would not vote for this the way it is. I really think we need to have the parking addressed, and also like the flow around the condo. I agree, I don't remember who said it on the board, but you might want to take that shed and make it a garage and have the connector be the garage for that other unit, and that way maybe you could push it back, have the garage, and that way 4 cars would be like in the structure, and then you just have to worry about the other 4 parking spaces. And if you fix that, then I would vote for it, but not the way it is now.
Thank you, Corinne.
Thank you.
Ken?
Yeah, I agree too. We can't possibly vote on it like this and with those changes that Corinne mentioned. I agree with it. Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Jeff?
Yeah, I agree. I have no issue with the borrowing the 3,000 feet from the commercial piece. So your original question of your variance, I'd be easy to grant, but I won't vote for this without the parking straightened out, so.
Thank you, Jeff and Ken.
I agree with moving the building back. I won't vote for this the way this is.
Thank you, Ken. Becky?
I need a parking plan to vote for this. And Sylvan Street's very busy, and there's a lot of snow that gets pushed in the winter on Sylvan Street. And if you only have 2 feet behind cars, those cars are gonna be buried in snow just from the snowplow going by. So, something to think about, and you wanna get good value from this property, so you wanna make sure people have a place to park. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Bob?
8 bedrooms, 4 parking spaces, doesn't do it for me. If they can push that addition back, add some more parking, then I don't have a problem with it. Parking's my only issue.
No problem.
Everything else is pretty good.
Thank you, Bob. And I too echo the board. I think, and to Mr. Duggan's point, I also, we need you to think about snow storage too. So I like the project as a whole. I think you're taking an eyesore of a property, turning it into something. It's a tough spot over there, given it is Sylvan Street. However, I think the board would react the same even if it wasn't Sylvan Street. We just need more parking off-street.
Can I
So,
just make one more comment?
yeah, go ahead, Becky.
My only other comment is that I really would prefer not to see the entire front of the house paved. This isn't gonna go to planning board. you probably have a right to do it, but, you know, Bob wants parking, and I would rather not see the whole front of the
They got a lot of
structure.
land in the back here.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
just a comment.
Yeah, perhaps if you could add some landscaping as part of this.
Or
Yes,
park
I
in the
think-
back.
Yeah, I think in this, with this project, we kind of are acting as the planning board as well, so. You don't have the votes tonight. Our next meeting is September 14th back here. Would you like to get a continuance and work on those things we described?
Sure.
Okay. Could I get a motion to
So
continue
moved,
this
Mr.
case?
Chairman.
I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, so we'll need it the Thursday before,
no, the Tuesday before,
the Tuesday
Tuesday
before,
before.
thank you.
at noon, by noon.
Tuesday at noon. And remember, we're having postal problems, so you may want to hand
Yeah.
carry.
We will.
You want to come in on Monday?
What's that date? Do we have that date?
The Tuesday before the 14th.
Right.
Everybody got that
She's
date?
pulling
My
it up.
crack technician down there. September 8th, please. That'll give the board time to review your
Well-
updated plans. And thank you,
very
thank you.
much for your time, and
Thank
Yep,
you.
thanks,
Very
gentlemen. We'll
important.
see you on September 14th.
thank you.
We look forward to that house being cleaned up.
Yeah, it's definitely beat up.
14. Oh. 14.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute.
It's getting
Yes, sir.
colder.
I'm just heating up.
Yeah, 14.
I don't know why I wrote down the second.
Hearing me?
Yeah, I don't, maybe it might go a little closer. Thank you. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want you yelling at me either. Okay, folks, just give us a minute here. All right, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next case is Tuan Pham, docket 20-4870, requesting a variance and a finding to allow a residential accessory structure, which is a tree fort, closer to the rear setback on a commercial lot with a pre-existing non-conforming single-family residential home in accordance with Section 7, Table 2, and Section 3.10.1 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 52 Dayton Street, and this is highway corridor zoned.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And someone here on the case? Yeah, could you come on up? Just identify yourself and talk to us about this project.
Hi, good evening. It's Tuan Pham with the owner of 52 Dayton Street, sir. We recently just purchased a house in October 2019, moved to Danvers, about less than a year. Due to COVID-19, we just feel like, you know, kids are stuck in their house. We want to build a little tree house for them. Somewhat not too little, but it's between the two trees. Cut down a tree because it looked too tall and wavy during the winter time. So we cut it down. We want to get something used out of it, build a little tree house for the 3 kids that we have. The setback is pretty close to the fence. I believe it's the inspector told us 25. After measuring it, it's at 21, as That was the setback, at 21 feet.
So you put up a tree fort, it doesn't meet the setback,
Yes, sir.
and I see in the package you got a letter from the town, basically, from the building inspector. I'm gonna go to the building inspector on this. Rich, if you could speak on this.
Yes.
How did this come to your attention?
We had some complaints from people in the neighborhood.
Okay,
The property is 100% in the Harry Carter zone, so it does not conform to the previous non-conforming,
so even if he was doing a shed, he would have had to come here?
shed, a pool,
Any change to the property?
any addition or any accessory structure
Okay.
requires non-conforming.
Got it. Okay, so I'm clear on that. Anything else you want to offer?
No, sir, that's all I have, sir. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, we'll start down there with you, Bob.
How big is your lot?
15,300,
15?
15,350,
All right, so
75?
it's an undersized lot then. I live around the corner from you, and I go by there a lot.
Yeah.
I often wondered, what the heck happened to that treehouse? He's not doing any work on it. And then I got this.
Yes,
and,
I have to end up cover it up, because I did talk to Mr. Richard after I get the letter, and I'm like, I need to put the roof on. He's like, you have to cover it up or something, because you can't continue. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be rotted in a way, and it just a lot of effort and work after work every day to
Well,
build for the
the
kids.
problem is your side setback, but there's not much you can do about it, because that's where the tree is.
Actually, because what happened is the deck, I measured from the deck, called the back deck, facing the hotel, to the deck, the pole from the deck is 21 feet. If I can cut the deck, which is, right now it's at 6 feet, if I cut back to no deck, then maybe I can make it. But the deck's already there, if, worst case, I can cut the deck off.
And
The
that-
deck is 6 feet in width.
Yeah,
In
that-
depth.
and that's quite a tree house, by the way.
Thanks.
It's,
Yeah, it's a
good
lot of effort.
size for the kids. Maybe you'll end up out there one of these days.
Maybe when they get kicked out, yeah.
I don't have any questions. You're in a, well, let me ask you this. If,
Yeah,
other
that's
than
the
the
question.
setback, if you were in a R3 zone, would that all be, he asking for as a setback relief? He's in highway corridor.
In 21 years, this is the second letter I've had to send out on the tree fort. So the other one was up on the Fall Hill neighborhood where they built it on the property line.
Oh.
This was all residential, so it met all the setbacks, they could just go with an accessory
A regular permit.
permit like a generator, it wasn't in the setbacks. So in the case on Folly Hill 10 years ago, it was actually comfortable with the property line, and it was higher than 10 feet, so that's the main building setbacks.
Another question for you. Did he get a building permit when he started this? He didn't realize he needed one?
No, sir. Because I did talk to the other inspector, and I did try to call the city at the moment. Like I said, during COVID, I reached the south city, to the city. Really didn't get in touch with anybody, because that's like the height of the COVID at the moment.
Well, hey, if you're gonna build something, you need a building permit.
Yes, sir.
Case closed. Has he got one now, or he's waiting for the judgment here? All right, I have no further questions.
Thank you, Bob. Becky?
Is this gonna have electricity?
No, ma'am.
No electricity?
No.
No,
Just
no
flashlights.
water?
No water.
No heat?
No, just tree house for the summer, not for the winter.
Okay, all right. How many windows does it have?
2.
2 windows. Okay. And is it, I went there, but is it as high as your house?
No.
About how high is it?
From the ground, the lowest point where the.
Because the front is lower.
The very
than-
ditch, at the deepest point at 21.5 feet to the tip of the roof. 21.5.
21 and a half, and how high do you think your house is?
It's 25. because I get up with the 21-foot ladder to clean my gutter, and I can barely reach. So my estimate is at least 25 feet.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Ken?
I think Bob asked all my questions, thank you.
Jeff?
I have a quick question for the building inspector. So,
Go ahead.
so this structure is, the walled part without the decks is 12 by 15. So he would still need, this is really an auxiliary structure, it's not a shed. It's too big for a shed, right?
You have, once you go over 120 square feet per shed, it has to meet the main building setback. So rear and rear is 3.
If it was not commercial.
Side, rear, and you could be up to 30 feet.
Okay, okay. So it's not a shed, it's an auxiliary structure at this point, because of the size.
Oh, it's all the same.
Still the same thing, shed to shed, it's just once you exceed a certain size, now you have to.
You'd have to get the regular setbacks, yeah, okay,
So if this was a red street, we'd have to meet the main building setback.
okay. Right. I have no other questions, Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Joe.
Thank you.
Ken?
I have another question for the building inspector. So does he have to meet any code requirements for like safety and stuff like that? I mean, just to make sure structurally it's sound and the tree could sway, and is there give there, or is there a space?
Flexibility on accessory structures, like structures.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm sorry, I'd like to point out about this way, I did think of that and consider. The back tree's been cut down completely to about 10 feet.
Yeah.
And we built around the tree
Okay.
to cover, to protect the tree from deteriorating. The main tree in the front, you can see on the street, is already cut down also, trim around the tip to the bottom. So when wind comes, there's no sway, no movement at all. I thought I'd consider.
So the trunk, you have some sort of spacing in there that it wouldn't compromise the structure?
No, sir.
Okay. Oh, just, that's all I get.
I have a couple questions. Did you have plans for this, or did you kind of draw and design this out yourself?
Draw and design myself.
And I see that you have ladders around it now. How many sets of stairs you gonna have to, I guess, access the tree fort? Is there gonna be a set of stairs in the front and another one in the back?
No, the front would be facing Dayton Street. That is a little bit high, about 9.5 feet in one of the pictures. I measured from the ground to the tip of the stairs. That would be, I call the back stairs. The front would be actually right where the fence is, with not meeting setback at 21 feet. That's at 6 feet. That would be the 4-foot wide stairs only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that you're only gonna have one set of stairs, and it's on the lower side, the
Yes.
6-foot side?
To be safe, yes.
Okay. Okay, that's it, those were all my questions.
Thank you, Corinne. Rich, sorry to keep hammering you on this. I guess I want to understand the setback still. At 21 feet at the rear of this, if this were in R3, would that be within code?
That would be fine.
Sorry?
If that was an R3, it would be fine.
Okay.
We're
We're in
in the highway code.
the highway corridor. Okay. I don't think I have any additional questions. Anyone else on the board? Yeah, Bob?
Did you build this yourself, or did you hire somebody?
I built it myself, sir.
Okay. And is that your business, or you're just handy?
That's my business. I register a business with the city, TNC Construction.
Okay. No other questions?
Thanks, Bob. I do have to say, Mr. Vam, you know, as someone who's in the trade, I think you know this needed a permit. You know, the variance may have been a surprise to you, but I think you knew it needed a permit. I don't think it's a valid excuse to use COVID and that the town hall wasn't functional, but I guess I'll save that for deliberations. Anyone here to speak on 52 Dayton Street? Anybody from the public? Hearing none, I'll come back to Bob.
I don't have an issue with the tree house, but I do have an issue with the not getting a building permit. I'll wait and I'll listen to everybody else.
Thank you, Bob. Becky?
I'm okay with this. I mean, it seems really huge when you drive by and you look at it. It seems really huge, but the issue with the setback is in the back, which is where the hill is and the Best Western is. So it's commercial in the back. You said you would take the deck off if you wanted to meet the setback, but I don't really see the need for it since it faces the hillside and the Best Western. So I would vote for this.
Thank you, Becky. Ken?
Thank you. I'm a little torn on this. I have a few issues. The fact that you didn't pull a permit. We've had some complaints, obviously, from neighbors. Too bad they're not here. I would have liked to have heard what they had to say. I think you're gonna have to come back to me as well.
Okay. Thank you, Ken. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm struggling with this as well, but to Becky's point, the reason he's here is because he's in the highway corridor zone and he's not meeting a commercial setback, which if he was res, he wouldn't need to be here. And it's in the back, and I guess I would vote for this.
Thank you, Jeff. Ken?
I would vote for this.
Thank you, Ken. And Corinne?
I agree with Becky, and I also agree with everyone else who stated that not getting, not filing an application wasn't a good thing, but I don't really have an issue with the treehouse itself. So I would vote for this.
Thanks, Corinne. Again, I struggle like my fellow board members here because you should know better. You're a builder.
Yes, sir.
There's not a thing you can do in the state of Massachusetts as a builder without a permit. Whether you're in commercial or not, as Jeff pointed out, if you were in residential, you wouldn't have needed relief from this board, but you still would have needed a permit, and you know that. I wish we had a way to, I guess, delineate that as part of the decision, but there really isn't. So the best I can do is just give you a stern warning and know that you should be pulling permits.
Yes, sir.
But I too would vote for it because I think it's not significant, it's not detrimental to your commercial partner. As our town inspector pointed out, if this was right on the property line, I'd have a different feeling about it, but it is 21 feet off. So I too would vote for it, but you need more votes, so I'll have to hear from other members. How says you, Bob?
Well, again, he didn't have a building permit, but it's a tree house. So, and,
I want to point out one last thing is, I do build a lot, and like I said, I just moved to Denver less than a year. Before I do anything, obviously, we trying to reach out to City Hall and whatnot, which
well, it doesn't
honestly, I
matter
did.
where you live, you need a building permit in the state of Massachusetts.
anywhere.
You know that.
Yeah, and I did talk to other cities I
You're
work for.
talking me out of voting for you, brother.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
We're in deliberation, so you can't talk anymore.
I'm so sorry.
Let
Thank
Bob finish his
All right,
statement.
I'll vote for this, even though we didn't get a permit.
Okay, thank you, Bob, and I believe Ken.
How many votes does he need?
He needs
needs four.
He needs a supermajority. He has 4 right now.
I won't vote for this.
Okay. 3 on the finding, 4 on the variance.
4 on the variance.
So you won't vote for the variance?
I'm not gonna vote for this.
Okay.
If it was on the ground, it would look different.
That's a tree condo, man. I mean, that
Tree
thing's
condo.
humongous.
All right,
I wish
could
I had a
could I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the finding, it's a one-part finding, in accordance with section 3.10.1 of the Danvers zoning bylaw to allow an accessory structure, tree fort, to be built on the property as shown on the plan submitted.
I have a motion, could I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
And the variance, Bob?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the dimensional variance from section 7, table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaw to erect an accessory structure, tree fort, closer to the rear lot line from required 25 feet to 21 feet as shown on the submitted plans. The hardship to size and shape of the lot, it is undersized for the highway corridor zone.
Second.
I've got a motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
You have enough votes to pass. See the building inspector, and good luck. And please pull permits in the future.
Yes, sir, thank you.
All right, folks, just give us a minute here. Bob, I thought I'd see you in these minutes here, 1977. It's a little before your time.
What, 77?
Yeah.
Before I was on this board, yeah.
Yeah. What?
He was alive.
Well, I was around, I was alive and kicking back then. More kicking then than now.
I just figured I would have seen Bob Signetti on here.
On these minutes.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Andrea Daly is.
Oh, that was before my time.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we'll go forward. Go ahead, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next case is Joseph A. Stasio Revocable Trust, docket 20-4871, requesting a variance to allow construction of a second-floor addition to an existing home in accordance with Table 2 and 3.12 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 23 Congress Ave. This is zoned R2.
Good evening. Looks like it's Congress Ave evening.
It does. Thank you very much. My name is Nancy McCann. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Joseph Stasio. Mr. Stasio is here this evening, and we are requesting a variance to allow a very small addition to the second-story rear of the existing structure. The property is located at 23 Congress Ave in the R2 zoning district, and back in 1977, a variance was granted to allow an addition to be placed onto the existing structure that was closer to the side lot line. That variance did allow the construction of the addition as it's been done, which had a two-story front, but the rear of the addition is only a single story. So what we are requesting tonight is a variance to allow the second story to be squared off in the back on the left-hand side. It's only about 140 square foot addition, which will allow a bedroom and bathroom renovation. So there is no change to the footprint of the existing building. That was done under the grant of the variance back in 1977. There is simply a small addition, 10 by 14, being proposed over the existing rear of the structure to complete and square off the second story. Again, there's no alteration in the footprint. The proposed addition will not be any closer to the side lot line than the existing structure. In fact, it is not as close to the side lot line as the existing structure. The lot is irregularly shaped, which is the basis for the variance, and I suspect was also, as indicated in the 1977 decision, was the basis for that decision as well. It's so we used to call these pork chop types of lots. It has a 45 feet of frontage, but then the lot flares out at the rear where the structure is located. It's important to note also that this structure is set back more than 90 feet from the street. And as you're looking at the structure from the street, you've got 90 feet before you even get to the home. And then the proposed addition is at the rear of the house on the left-hand side. So it is not going to be seen from the street. The applicant has been on this property for 30-plus years and is looking to make this renovation. He also has a couple of additions that you see on the plan that are conforming and do not require board relief. So that is it. We are seeking a variance to square off the second story by a small 10 by 14 square foot addition.
Okay.
And you do have full floor plans as well as building elevations, both existing and proposed.
Thank you, Attorney McCann. Corinne, we'll start down there with you.
I just have one question. I'm looking at the plot plan. Is that a paper road that's next to their,
Yes, it was never constructed.
was that going to connect it with, let's see, Congress down to, I have this map upside down. That is interesting that there's a paper road right through the property like that. That's it. I don't have any other questions. It's, all you're doing is going up and putting a small addition on, correct?
Right, and the paper street was on the 1905, 1906 layout, and it just was never constructed.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you, Corinne. Ken?
I have no questions.
Thank you. Jeff?
Attorney McCann, I just have one question. I have no problem with the addition, but I'm looking at this plot plan prepared by Griffin Engineering, and I can't tell which of these lines is the property line.
The property line
On the left.
is the dark dotted line that is 250 feet in length.
Okay.
I have a slightly larger colored version if you'd like to see that.
Oh, that's the edge of the property? Okay, so they're right up against the edge. All right, I have no other questions, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Ken?
I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Becky?
I have no questions.
And Bob?
No questions.
I think the only question I have is, do we know what the existing setback is? It looks like, am I seeing .8 feet?
I believe it is .6 to the
0.6.
front of the house. That front left
That
corner
front
is
corner.
.6.
Okay.
And the proposed will be 5.9.
Okay. I have no further questions either. Anyone here to speak from the public on 23 Congress Avenue? Hearing none, I will come back to the board. Corinne?
I would vote for this.
Thank you, Corinne. And Ken?
I would vote for this too.
Jeff?
I would vote for this.
Ken?
I will vote for this.
Becky?
I will vote for this.
And Bob?
Yeah, she's staying within the footprint, I'll vote for this.
And I too would vote for this, so could I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant a dimensional variance in accordance with Section 7, Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaw to allow for the addition of a partial second floor as shown on the plan submitted. The hardship is the shape of the lot, the location of the existing house on the lot.
I have
Second.
a motion, could I get a second?
Second. I
Becky
second
seconded
it.
it.
Second, sorry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
give Aunt Nancy 1 second. She's putting a board and stuff up.
Crazy.
We're gonna have to get bigger maps if we're gonna stay in here.
I know. Sorry about that.
And our final case of the evening is Livermore Development LLC, docket 20-4872, requesting a variance for reduced frontage to allow the two properties to be combined and reconfigured to create two buildable lots in accordance with Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaws at 18 Congress Avenue and 11 Harvard Avenue, and this is zoned R2.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you very much. My name is Nancy McCann. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Livermore Development LLC. With me tonight is Ryan Livermore. Also with me tonight is Stephen Livermore, who's a project architect for the plans that were submitted with this application. This is an interesting one. We're requesting a combination and a reconfiguration of two existing lots located in the R2 zoning district. The first lot is 18 Congress Ave, which was made up of 10 small lots on the original 1906 subdivision plan. It's highlighted in yellow on the plan sets that I gave you. It is an irregularly shaped lot. It's rather a U-shape, as you can see. It has 240 feet of frontage on Congress Ave and 36,000 square feet of area. And again, it is an irregularly shaped lot. The second lot is 11 Harvard Avenue, which is the orange lot as shown on the plans that I submitted to you. It contains 7,200 square feet and 0 feet of frontage. Harvard Ave was never constructed. It's a paper street on the same subdivision plan that we talked about a moment ago. So 11 Harvard Ave is listed on as the assessor's records as not buildable because it has no legal frontage, because Harvard Ave was never constructed. The applicant has acquired both of these parcels and is proposing to combine them and reconfigure them to create two regularly shaped lots. Each of those lots will have 21,600 square feet, which is more than the required lot area in the R2 zoning district. And each of the lots will have 120 feet of frontage on Congress Ave. The requirement under the bylaw in R2 is 125 feet of frontage. So we are requesting a 5-foot frontage variance for each of these two resulting lots. These are the two lots, wonderfully regularly shaped rectangles with frontage on Congress Ave. They also back up to Harvard Ave, but that doesn't count for frontage because Harvard Ave was never constructed. So the 240 feet of frontage has been divided equally so that each of these lots will have more than the required area, having 21,600 square feet, and 120 feet of frontage each. This will create two attractive house lots that will fit very well into this neighborhood. Both of these lots will be larger than any of the other lots in the neighborhood. There are no lots in the Congress Ave neighborhood that have 20,000 square feet. They are all, every one of them, undersized, with the exception of this one. It will also have more frontage than almost all of the other lots, even though we need the variance. The average frontage in this neighborhood is 79 feet, and we are proposing 120 feet of frontage. So what this is going to do is we have an application with an irregular shaped lot. We have Harvard Ave, which was never constructed, so it doesn't count for frontage. that's resulting in our hardship, and we have what is an exceedingly large lot that we're proposing to divide, having more than the required area, but being in keeping with the other lots in the neighborhood, and proposed houses on each of these lots will be also in keeping with the houses in the neighborhood. I did provide house plans so that you could see what's being proposed here. I think the board has been looking for that in cases where variances have been requested. The house plans, as you can see, they are modest, 2,300 roughly square feet houses. They'll fit nicely in the neighborhood. They will meet the setback requirements. The front setback, side setback, rear setbacks will be easily met on lots that are over 20,000 square feet, which both of these are. So the result is going to be 2 lots that fit in the neighborhood, 2 homes that fit in the neighborhood, meeting all of the setback requirements, and making good use of 1 lot, which is Harvard Ave, that can't be used for anything because it has no frontage, and another irregularly oversized lot in this area that might give rise to a house that might not otherwise fit well in the neighborhood, given the size of the lot. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Attorney McCann. Not too often we see it nice and square like this, is it?
Isn't that nice?
We'll start down there with you, Bob.
I see your house plan. Are you gonna build these 2 houses exactly the same, no difference?
Ryan Livermore is here. He can speak to that.
Ryan Livermore Development. Currently, that is the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nicer to have 2 different kind of houses, that's all.
They sit well on the lot, and it makes it more cost-effective to build them
Yeah.
that way.
All right, I took a ride down there. I saw the lot. I don't know how many years it's been sitting there. And all you're asking for is a 5-foot variance on both. I have no other questions.
Thank you, Bob. Becky?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you. Ken?
Thank you. So the 7,200 square foot is landlocked. You can't build on it anyways, right?
That's correct.
There's no frontage. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Jeff?
I have no questions.
Ken?
I was just wondering, looking at the deed for lots 96 and 97, how come that was so cheap? It's $8 grand. I mean, I know it's probably, you said it's a paper street, not really buildable, but that
You
just
also
seems
can't
really.
get to it.
What's that?
It's useless.
You also can't get to it because Harvard Ave wasn't ever built.
It just seems really, really cheap. I was just wondering how you got it so cheap, if you could answer.
I'm good at what I do.
What's that?
I'm good at what I do.
All right, there you go. All right, you answered.
Additional questions, Ken?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Corinne?
Nancy, this is like a law school exam question.
Isn't it?
I mean, this is just crazy. I agree with Bob. I think I would like 2 separate houses, but I do love the design of the house. And I am assuming there's no conservation land here?
Not on this side of the street.
Okay. And, I mean, wow, this is really crazy. So basically, you just need some extra, you need a variance because you need extra frontage.
We're only short 5 feet for each of the lots. So, yes, that's all we need.
Okay, that's it. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Corinne. Attorney McCann, so Harvard Ave was never built. You're taking 7,200 square feet, combining it, coming up with 2 square lots. And although the average on that street is the average is 79 feet of frontage?
Yes.
Okay. And you're proposing to go with 120 for each of these. Okay, I don't think I have any questions. I do have some comments. I really wouldn't like to see matching houses. I think it gives it that tenement look that you get in low-income housing, but I'll save that. Additional questions from the board? I'll go out to the public. Yes. Let me go, I'll stop back there. Go ahead. You could come to the microphone, identify yourself. Right up there, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Cheryl Buchanan. I own the two-family next door to the lots,
What's the address?
20 Congress Ave.
Thank you.
It'll be nice to see houses there, finally. It's been empty for a long time. I'm just wondering what they're gonna do with the brook that runs on the property that goes under my property. I don't have any idea how that works with water, but that brook, I don't know where the houses are going, runs under my property. And I'm very concerned where that water's gonna go.
At number 20, you care to address that?
The brook will be substantially behind the houses where they're proposed, as
Okay.
they're gonna come up to the front setback. So it'll be about 60 to 70 feet behind the back of the proposed houses.
So
Should
no
be a-
disruption to that?
No
brook.
disruption,
And
yeah.
these houses will have full foundations?
Full foundations, yep.
May I ask him a question?
Yeah,
So
you
that
can
land
come
is
through
gonna
here.
stay rough like that behind the house? Like I said, that's the only thing I'm worried about is that water. It's like a brook.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's flowing great,
Yeah.
and sometimes it isn't, especially in the winter. They say there's no easement under my yard. I'm not really positive at this point in time, but that water runs a lot under my property.
Yeah, the
so I'm
applicant's
just-
saying that's about 70 feet behind
All
where
right,
they're
so the
proposing.
houses are in the front part.
Yep, so it doesn't sound like
Okay,
there'll be any
then-
disruption.
Yep.
And the building inspector will be involved with the build, so.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about is that little brook. It's always been like, what's gonna happen to that brook when they finally build it?
Sounds like nothing.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Duggan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Matthew Duggan, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. Just a couple of questions. I know when you drive down Congress on the left side, the second house in is 8 Congress. So is this property abut 8 Congress?
Is this property abut 8?
This does abut 8 Congress.
Okay.
Yep.
And what are are these going to be one large lot that's kind of subdivided, so there'll be new street numbers? How's that-
Well,
How
that'll
do the
be up to
numbering,
the-
how's the numbering gonna work?
Yeah, that'll be up to the tax assessor how it gets numbered.
Attorney
But
McCann, if you
they-
could take the mask off.
Whoops. Sorry. I enjoy wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all getting used to them.
Yeah. The tax assessor sets house numbers, so we'll figure out whether, how the numbering will work here, but that would be up to the
But the
assessor.
idea is it'd be 2 separate addresses.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah.
will, yes, they will.
So
have
it's
two
either
separate
number
addresses.
10 and 12 or whatever the
Separate
town.
properties.
Yeah,
Just
separate
one more
properties.
question. There's several parcels that, on that street that are owned, well, they're designated to be on Harvard, that are owned by the town of Danvers. Are any of those parcels adjacent to this, what's being discussed tonight?
No, they are not. I'm looking at the records, and no, I don't believe so.
Not that I'm aware of.
No,
So no adjacent lots are owned by the town
Okay.
to this lot.
right.
All right, great, thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions yet? Come on up to the mic, just identify yourself.
Jane Fuller, 30 Congress Ave, Town Meeting Member. I'm happy to have these lots finally developed, but I do want to point out that if you look at wetlands mapper, there are wetlands on the street at Congress Ave. So there's more than a brook behind the property.
Okay, thank you. So, Attorney McCann,
Yep.
this isn't in conservation area, correct?
If there are wetlands on the property, and it sounds like perhaps there may be, that would be identified before a building permit is pulled, because if there's any work proposed within 100 feet of a wetland,
Right.
then we have to go through the Conservation Commission. The plans that we have thus far have not gone to that level of designating the wetland. I was not aware of there being any wetland on this side of the street. I did know that with regard to the last application, there is wetland definitely on the other side of the street. But if there is any here, that's the next step in this process,
Okay.
is getting the wetlands delineated And then if there's any work proposed within 100 feet, then we need to go to the Conservation Commission.
Yes.
So-
R2.
So, I'm assuming, but you can tell me, you're gonna be probably around the 30-foot setback from the street versus pushing back towards the rear of the property. From what I heard, both neighbors addressing the brook,
Yes.
Yep.
so
We're gonna keep it as close to the front.
you're gonna come to the
as we
street,
can
okay.
In order to avoid the wetlands in most spots.
But you're still gonna, if there's wetlands, that'll be addressed before permits are issued.
Yes. And the depth of these lots is 180.
I'm sorry?
The depth of the lots is 180 feet.
Yep.
So we've got a lot to work with. Once we meet the front setback,
Yeah.
we still have
So
a
you've got
good-
150 feet from setback, okay. I think that answers that, okay. Any additional questions from the public? Yeah, come on up again.
Fuller, 30 Congress Avenue, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 3. We just got this street paved, and
I
I
noticed.
want to address the fact that with water and utilities, what are the rules for digging up
The
a
disruption
brand-new
of the street, yeah.
Thank you.
I think you can speak to that, yes? They did just have it paved, I was jealous when I drove down it.
Yes, I assume there are lines in the street, and maybe you know that already?
There's main lines in the street. We already have spoken to the water department about cutting into it and the requirements to patch the street according to match the existing finish.
So it would have to be cut into and
Yep.
patched, okay.
Would be cut in, and they make us, I believe they make us go through and do a special type of patching so that it matches the existing.
And this was natural gas on this street as well?
Yes.
Okay. So there'll be a cut-in for two separate cuts, or,
There'll be one cut for water and sewer and then one cut for gas.
and at each address?
It'll come through in the middle of the two of them and spread out
And
the
then
lots.
fan out on your own property?
Yep, that's to
Okay.
minimize the cuts that are going.
So it'll be one cut on the street, and that they will have to patch. Okay. Additional questions, we're good? All right, I'll close the public hearing, we'll come back to the board. Bob?
I think it's a good idea, I'll vote for this.
Thank you, Bob. Becky?
I would vote for this. I'm constantly amazed at the creativity of creating lots within this town. So we've seen a couple tonight, and yeah, I would vote for this.
Thank you, Becky. Jeff? Sorry, Ken.
Thanks.
Got the Bruins on my mind.
I would vote for this. I think this is going to look great.
Thank you, Jeff.
I will vote for this.
And Ken?
I would vote for this, Jim.
Thank you. Corinne?
I would vote for this.
I too would vote with the comment that I really, even if it's just the garage on the opposite side or something, give it a little different look. Don't make them cookie cutter. But I do think it's a great use of the land, and I hope you hear the neighbors' concerns on especially cutting into a nice new paved street, so.
Could we then, we did submit floor plans and elevation drawings to you.
Yes.
Can we have a condition that we are allowed to modify those? And in fact, you're suggesting that we modify them, as long as we stay within the size, as we've indicated here, which is 2,400 square feet, so that we have some flexibility to do what you've asked, which
Okay.
is make them
Well,
look a little...
let me pull the board on that.
Yeah,
Bob?
how many bedrooms are in these houses anyway?
4.
4? All right, I let them have some flexibility, as long as you stay within the
Designated square footage.
the amount of space that you already have. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Becky?
It doesn't bother me if they're the same, but that's fine.
It doesn't bother me either, but if you guys want some difference.
I mean,
you
they
guys
maybe
meet.
paint them different colors
They're
or
gonna need
something,
that,
you
that
know?
little leeway.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Maloney.
The plans for the house should be immaterial because it's a res two lot, you really don't regulate the size of houses as long as they meet the setbacks.
So they can build what they want.
As long as they meet the setbacks, if they don't meet the setbacks, then they gotta come back to the board, but if you're only talking about a 5 foot, because that's almost impossible to monitor 10 years down the road, somebody comes in, a different owner comes in and applies
my comment would be that this lot, these two lots are much larger than any other lot on that street.
That's correct,
So as
right.
long as they meet the setbacks, I think any house would be,
Which they're going to with those size lots.
right,
Okay.
right.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
We're just making a friendly suggestion.
Friendly
No,
suggestion.
no, definitely.
How's that? Can I get a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the dimensional variance from Section 7, Table 2 of the Danvers zoning bylaw for the combining of the two lots and the reconfiguring to create two new lots with 120 feet of frontage, each on Congress Avenue. As shown on the plan submitted, the hardship is the irregular shape of 18 Congress Ave and the landlocked parcel of 13 Harvard Avenue.
Second.
I've got a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good luck.
Thank you very much.
and Thank you. Mr. Maloney, do you have anything additional for us? Could I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Dan.
Good night, Danvers.